Alright, so sound. We do not have audio. We want those headsets. And still don't have audio, so that's not good. Let's go to properties, Galaxy Buds. That should be working. Oof. That's fun. 1 2 1 2. That's really annoying. Let's try and restart the stream real quick. Alright, so yeah, we're back online. What happened? My RAM usage was way too high again. So I have a problem on my computer since I changed to Linux, in which when my RAM usage gets close to 100%, I only have 8 gigs of RAM, so that happens often. When my RAM usage gets to like full 8 gigabytes, my CPU usage gets all the way to 100%, and then my computer crashes immediately. And I have no idea why it does this. Maybe I don't have the right page size, maybe I have a process that is causing the CPU to rise too much, the CPU usage to rise. I have no idea. But I guess here we're back up. So there you go. What was I about to do? There you go. Div class name / div. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a container for the description and the tags, and we're going to see if that helps. So we're going to have a styles.popup. Oh crap, let's paste that. So yeah, inside of card CSS, we're going to have a pop-up. And so we won't need, we're going to have POPUP, okay. POPUP, that's such a weird word. And so we're going to want that here as well, actually. We don't want that. And the tags display none, we don't need that anymore. So now, actually I gotta get the server back up. So cd website and npm run dev. Okay, so now the website is up, and so let's go on here, and there you go. That should work now, hopefully. Yep, we're up. Okay, so again, so that's oh, actually the pop-up has to have a grid, a flex direction of column as well. There you go. So now we got the description and the tags. So that's working perfectly. Awesome. Okay. Actually, also, we will want flex direction column and also align items stretch, so that now the cards, the tags are taking the whole width. So hopefully that helps here. So, and so basically, the rough idea here is that this pop-up actually has a a position relative. So, sorry, absolute. And so then, oh, that did not work. That was tags, okay. Position absolute. And so now, as you can see, when we're hovering over cards, they're not changing sizes anymore. Well, granted, the content is not where it should be, but you know, that's a very good start. And so now what we want to do is take that content and bring it downwards to the bottom of the card. And so I believe the best way to do this is to have a pop-up container. So that's what we'll do here. I'll have a pop-up container, and then another /div at the bottom. And so we're going to have a pop-up container that contains the pop-up. But the pop-up container actually will be part of the card. Basically, you can see here it works. And so, oh, actually, that's very weird. I don't know how it works, but it does work, so that's cool. And so yeah, now the content, the description and the tags are displayed on the pop-up container relative to the pop-up container. And so basically, now we have the text. That's annoying actually. This should not. So basically, when we're hovering over the I think we're going to keep it that way. Anyways, so yeah, now the correct items are added to here, and the only thing we need now is a background on that pop-up, and so we will add this background color of inherit. Let's try and inherit, see if it works. It didn't. Okay. Actually, if I were to put that same to um, container, let's try to inherit. Oh, hopefully. Oh, I think that was my stream key. So let's pretend we didn't see that. Goodness gracious. That didn't work either. Actually, am I using background color? I'm using background. I'm just going to cheat basically and hard code the background. Var color background. There you go. And so, oof, that's terrible. Actually, it's not terrible. This is exactly what this is almost exactly what we want. Um, the pop-up container will have a position of relative. And so as you can see now, at least the content is centered. It's still not doesn't have the right margins though. And the reason for that is the cards has a margin, but on the pop-up container we want to get rid of those margins essentially. So we're going to do margin of 0. And so there you go. Now you can see the paragraph is taking the whole width of the container, and then we will want to add padding to the pop-up itself. Actually, we will want padding to the pop-up, or well, I guess we could instead of that have margin to the description and to the tags. Actually, we already have this, so we'll just copy that over here. There you go. And so now you can see that the text that pops up is now the right width to be able to go on the card, which is good news. Now the color doesn't change properly, and so we will want to display flex, and we'll also want to change the background of the pop-up container. So and we'll want to transition as well. And again, we're just gonna copy everything over. So again, yank that, and then we're gonna paste that over here. So we want a transition in the background, so you can now see. Oh, actually, did that work? Background color. Is this working properly? I don't think that's working properly, actually. So the transition doesn't seem to be working for some reason. When we actually hover the cards, the background changes straight away, which is not what we want. Let's try to see here what's going on. So we have a link which contains, let's just go, an image, title, and a pop-up container. So this pop-up here should have a transition. I don't know if it does. So transition background color. So it should have a transition. So that's very strange because it's already the right color. Let's try and slow all the animations down and see if that actually helps. And so background color, we're going to say actually 1 second. So again, that was 1 second. There you go. There you go. So you can see the background color is not updating properly. It's always the lighter color, which is not what we want. That is very strange here. We'll try simply background. Maybe that's going to help. I have no idea. And so if I were to put a crazy color here, so yeah, and so it already has the ending color. Let's try to add dash color to all of them and see if that helps. Maybe. No, that does not help. That is very strange. Quick look here. Oh, there's someone that showed up. JKOG. That was probably a while ago. I have not watched, have not seen the chat for a while. So well, hello to you. If you are still watching, that is. I have 0 concurrent viewers here and 1 concurrent viewer down there. So I'm not sure. But yeah, hello. CSS transition. Background color transition is not working. That's not what I want. Okay. I'm basically going to try and find the difference between the card and the pop-up containers. Actually, I think I might know. Since we start out with a display of none, the card CSS just doesn't run the transition. So instead of having display none, we're going to have opacity of 0, and we'll see if that works. Just temporarily, opacity of 1. You can see here now, yes, the background animates properly. So this was in fact the problem. There you go. CSS weirdness. What did you expect? And so then we'll have card background light, and then we will actually have the actual 0.125 second transition here. Same thing over here. All right, there you go. So now we have, there you go, we have hovering cards. And when we can go down the description, and that all works perfectly. Now, it doesn't look perfect. There's no box shadow on the bottom of this container, and no border radiuses, and there should be some. And so the border radius on the cards is 0.25 m. However, when we hover the card, we want a border radius of 0.25 m, but 0 at the top and bottom. I know that's going to help. Yep, there you go. And so that works perfectly. And then we'll want an actual border radius on the pop-up. However, we'll only want it on the bottom. There you go. And so now we have a border radius when we hover those cards. I don't really like the fact that it appears like that. So I think I will also animate the opacity of it. Yeah, that is way too slow though. So let's 0.125 seconds. Let's make that animation faster. So there you go. Now when we hover a card, you can see a description. I'm still not convinced this animation is perfect, but it's way better than it used to be. So that's all good. So there you go. Oh, actually, no, this did not work. Okay, so the background radiuses did not work. I'm going to actually look up the specs on that. Oh, sorry, border radiuses. 33 schools, that's going to do. And so we have top left, top right. So we're going top left clockwise. And so we'll want top left and then clockwise, so 0.25 m, 0, 0. And then we want the reverse down here. So the pop-up will want 0, 0, top, bottom, the top, and then those at the bottom. So there you go. Now the border radiuses are fixed. So that looks pretty good. And so we ideally we would want a box shadow on those. Actually, I think I don't. I'm not sure. I don't like the fact that some of the descriptions go really far downwards, but I don't know if I can do anything about that. Um, or actually, are those? Yes, I do believe. Yes, the border radiuses at the bottom here are actually working, so that's good news. And you can see that we can hover a card and then go down to the description and actually like move the description around, and then we can move away, and then it all updates properly, which is exactly what we want. Um, all right. 0 concurrent viewers. That's not good news. Um, so um, I don't even know if YouTube saves streams by default. Oh, all right, that's not gonna work. So okay, so we will want actually when I say large, we will want a lot of padding underneath it. And so on the container here, we will want padding on the bottom because otherwise, well, that's a problem. Anyways, because otherwise, it actually cuts off at the bottom. So we'll add some margin bottom, actually some padding bottom of maybe 20 em. So there you go. Now we have, actually that's way too much. Let's say 10 em instead. And so yeah, now we have space at the bottom here. So let's say we were to have maybe a post at the center. Oh, that's not gonna work on this aspect ratio. Let's get a smaller one. Let's load more, and then if we were to go down here, well, that's a problem. The load more button actually displays on top of it, but we'll just ignore that for now. Or we could not ignore it as well. So oh well, we'll just ignore that. Okay. Um, so yeah, there you go. Now we have card hover effects, which is pretty cool. I'm not convinced this is exactly what we want, though. I'm not really happy with this animation, but I think it's going to do. All right. Let's try active. Yeah, I can't actually try this out here. I'll have to simulate a touchscreen device on here. No, so this is not working actually. For now, I think we won't worry about this too much. I don't like the fact that when we're hovering over the description, uh, it also shows here. Um, I think like a big problem we're having right now is that we can't clearly see that the pop-up is part of the card. It kind of just blends with the other cards, and we really have to fix this. Um, so the problem is we can't just add a box shadow to the pop-up, um, because it's actually going to put a box shadow also around the pop-up on the top. I guess what we could do though, um, is add a box shadow to it. Um, yeah, there you go. Um, but then I'd remove the box shadow top. I do not know if that property exists. No, I do not think it does. Okay, so um, oh my God, hey, what distro are you on? Hello, Alexi. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm running Ubuntu with um with Plasma Desktop. I can't type. There you go. So I'm running Ubuntu with Plasma Desktop. So that's the UI I have, but it's, under the hood, it's just Ubuntu. So yeah, I guess plan of today's stream. You don't have to watch this. I have no idea why I'm streaming this, but yeah. Plan of today's stream is to change some stuff around on my website, and so I'm getting some card hover effects running right now, as you can see here. And we're probably also um, so the delimitations of the hero section. So we're probably gonna fix this weird delimitation up there. I don't like how it looks. We're gonna see what we do with that. And finally, the text in the about section. I might update this. We will see. But mainly here we're focusing on adding those card hover effects. And so yeah. Actually, I think I have a way better idea for those. So we won't even add a box shadow, but we will add an opacity of 1. Or actually, both on the pop-up and on the card. And we'll also have a 0.125 seconds. Ease in, out. So this shouldn't change anything. Never mind, this is totally broken everything. The top is not animating anymore. That's not good. Actually, we might just want an opacity 0 at the beginning. Hmm. So why is my top not animating anymore? Trying to get rid of this here. Still not animating. And then now it's working again. Okay. That's very bizarre. Do I have any comments here? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. No, it's not actually Kubuntu. When I installed Ubuntu, um, I didn't know which desktop environment I wanted yet, so I have just regular old Ubuntu with a Plasma desktop, but it's not Kubuntu. It's Ubuntu with a custom desktop environment on top of it. And to be fair, it is kind of glitchy at times, so I might want to change that to actually run Kubuntu. We're going to see on that. Um, so yeah. Um, we still have a broken animation when we also animate opacity, which is very annoying. But basically, the idea here is, so we're going to want to have a card hover. There you go. Actually, Css Sibling Selector. What is that? Okay, so it's a tilde. So we're going to want card hover tilde card, and we're going to want an opacity of 0.5. Hopefully that's going to work, and we're going to have an opacity of 1 by default. No, we actually want plus card. No, never mind. Okay, what do we actually want then? Let's check the C++ combinators. Next siblings. Because so I want next siblings and previous siblings, which is my problem here. So what we could, I guess, try is add a hover effect on the card container. Oh, actually, which we do not have. Oh, that is. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, so we can't really do that. So what I essentially want is that I want all of the cards to have 100% opacity by default. But then when I hover a card, I'd like to decrease the opacity of the other cards. Um, I don't know if that's going to be easy to do though, because this does what we want, but it only changes the opacity of the cards that are after it, which is not ideal. And you can see it also flickering a lot, which is not great. Um, I think that might be because of that new line. Let's try and save without formatting. No, it's not. Okay. I have no idea why, but this here seems to break the transition. And I just pasted my stream key again. Oh my goodness, great. I have no idea why though, because here we have smooth transitions again when we don't animate the opacity. So I guess let's not animate the opacity. What we could have though is just by default, we could have by default a slightly lower opacity. Oh, goodness, of maybe 0.9. And then again, when we hover the card, you get to 1. And so the image also updates slightly. I'm going to have an opacity of maybe actually 0.8. There you go. And so the cards still look decent, but when you hover a card, you can really see the difference. And hopefully that works, or hopefully that helps to. I'm not actually. I don't think this is a good idea because when we hover the cards, it looks like. Oh, actually, we do want that. When we hover the cards here, it looks like. Well, actually, do we want that as the index? We don't want it. Oh, actually, never mind. We do. There you go. Yeah, so when we hover the card, all the images were dull and were only actually showing bright when we were hovering the card. So I fixed that. So I guess that works. I think part of the problem is that the cards are way too small here. I modified Mosaic large so that there would be more cards on the screen, but then when the description is shown, it's just the text is way too large. So I'll actually cheat and just make those cards slightly larger. There you go. I think this looks way better. You can more easily see as well where the cards end. It still isn't ideal, but it's way better. And I guess I think I will try to add box shadow to this pop-up. And so here you go. So that looks way better at the bottom. However, again, the problem here is there's box shadow on the top of this pop-up as well. And I'm not sure what would be the best way to fix this. Let's actually inspect those cards to try and find what would be how we could fix this. So again, we'll just enable the hover state, and there you go. Okay. So how on earth can we try and get rid of that box shadow because it looks terrible? I guess we have the title followed by the actual container. So what we could do, which would be a horrible hack, is to have probably, oh, that's a notification, all right, we're good, is to have maybe some kind of, actually I should check that notification. All right. So again, we somehow want to get rid of that box shadow. So what we could do is take that title and actually bring it to the front. So put it above the pop-up and and give it a set background. So actually, I think that's what we're going to do. So that's very hacky, but I think it's going to work out. So that title here is has a transition. Let's give it a background, just background of a card background. So we're just going to have the normal card background. Actually, instead of having a margin, it's going to have a padding. Padding. And actually, this description will now also have a padding, I guess. There you go. And so now, oops. Again, padding here. And there you go. So now the title is taking up the whole width, and you can see its color here. So what we're going to do again is we're going to put it on top of that pop-up. The way we're going to do this is when we hover the card, um, we're going to put a z-index of 2 on that title. And so card hover title, and we're going to have that z-index of 2. And so there you go. You can see now we don't have a box shadow here anymore. And we just got to make sure that the title color actually matches the background of the card. And so we'll add a background. Actually, we can just copy it from here. And we will also make sure to animate this background. So we want also color 0.125 seconds is an out. And I do not know why I used to have the color animation here. So there you go. We can see the box shadow when we oh no, okay, yeah, that broke. Okay, so we want to remove the padding on those images as well. So margin 0 is going to become padding 0. There you go. So we can slightly see that box shadow when we do hover, which is a problem here. When we remove okay, so basically we're giving a z-index of 2 to the title only when we're hovering, but we actually always wanted to have a z-index of 2. And we'll go on that over there. There you go. And so here we go. Now we got a nice hover effect. Oh, actually that's a problem. We can't have all the titles have a z-index of 2 because now the title on the card that is below is actually above our pop-up, which is not what we want. And so I think we're going to want a z-index of 2 on the title by, I'm not sure actually. We would have to have a z-index of 1, no, a z-index of 0. And then when we hover, we would have to have a z-index of 2. But again, the problem is here when we stop hovering, you can see the box shadow very briefly. I guess one hack to get this to work is to not have a box shadow on the pop-up by default and only add the box shadow when we actually hover. And so yeah, I guess this works. We don't have yeah, this works. Actually, this works perfectly. Oh, actually, why? Oh, I see. Okay. So we'll want to have padding border radiuses. The border radius on the pop-up actually always has to be the same. So let's add this here. There you go. So now, oh, oh no, that's not working. What if we were to have a border radius on the pop-up container instead? No. Okay, so basically what the problem I'm trying to solve here is that sometimes some of the cards that have, oh, actually, the title's the problem. Never mind. So we will want actually, we don't want a border radius. So I guess we'll just want a normal transparent background. Oh no, of course, because we want to actually animate this background. So the problem we're having here is that some of the cards don't have border radiuses at the bottom because the title is actually preventing preventing them from showing properly. The rest of the hover effects though are working pretty well, so that's very good. Very happy to see this. But again, some of the border radiuses are broken, and it makes the cards not look as good as I would like. So anything going on in the chat? Nope. All right. So That's very annoying. I guess, and yeah, well, so I guess we could again just cheat and add a border radius. So have no border radius by default. Sorry, have a border radius on the title when we do hover, and not have any border radius when we're and have a border radius when we're not hovering, which is very hacky. But I guess there you go. So now if I were to zoom in here, you can see that the cards always do have a little corner here, unless when we do hover, the corner is filled up with color. So that works perfectly. This design is probably now broken on mobile, but I won't worry about this right now. So there you go. Now we're able to see a lot more projects way faster by just browsing through those, and there you go. Again, we have the load more button issue, but yeah, that's a very good start. So I guess an easy way to fix this load more problem is to modify the z-index, its z-index. Oh, actually, that's a problem. So when we're hovering here, since the pop-up has just 0 opacity, it technically it technically does exist, and so we can hover the card from the bottom here, as you can see, um, which is less than ideal. But I don't know if there's an easy way to fix this, so we'll just pretend this is not a bug for now. So yeah, there you go. And again, with the padding at the bottom of those mosaics, we're able to hover those buttons, and we're able to hover those cards, and there's plenty of space down here. So yeah. This does look quite weird, but oh well. So I think that's a very good start. And then again, we can click on a post, and we're going to get to the post. Well, we're going to get to the post page. All right, so I think that's a good start. Again, do we have any comments here? Z-index 0 on load more button. So the thing is, I could actually put a lower z-index. Oh, actually, I have to refresh here. I could put a different z-index on that button, but the problem is, right now when I hover outside of a card, it shows the card. So if I were to try to click the button, it would actually show that card, and then I wouldn't be able to click on that button. So the primary problem here is actually that I can hover a card from the pop-up, and it actually works, which is actually what we do want. I think setting pointer events to none on that pop-up might work. Let's try that out. I have no idea. Pointer events none. Does that fix it? That actually does fix it. Okay, well, that's perfect. And so again, now we have those cards here, and when we get our mouse outside of the card, it just stops hovering, which in a way is actually better, because you don't, what's the point of putting your mouse on the pop-up where you want to actually, you know, if I'm hovering here and I go down, I want to hover on the next one, which makes more sense than actually having it like this, where it just kind of, I'm touching here and it doesn't remove until I exit the pop-up. So I guess that's what we want. And then again, yes, we'll put a pointer events, a z-index on that button so that it shows on top of other cards. So instead of mosaic large here, dot mosaic large. Oh, that's actually going to be a problem. Actually, so the problem here is we're using React, which means we have. Oh, actually, the way that's built, I could just add a class name. Class name equals button. Never mind, that's all going to work out. Oops, of 0. Actually, I want a z-index of 1. A z-index of 2. A z-index of -1. That's a problem. Okay. Okay, so that's not working. I have no idea if the selector is even working. Let's actually make sure that the Z index was applied to that button here. So Z index. Okay, so it was not applied to the button for some reason. Container button. Okay, so why is this happening? Let's take a look. Oh, actually, that's the problem. Um, actually, we do have a spread syntax. Okay. Okay, so I think I can't just set class names like this. So essentially, I'll just do, again, something very crappy, and I'll just say any links inside of container, which is really, really terrible. But there you go. Now it has, actually, I'm gonna give it a z index of 0. It is very crappy, but it's going to work. And we don't need that class name here anymore. So there you go. Now we can hover the button and the cards, and if we hover on the pop-up, it actually disappears like this. So I think that's all good. So again, the button. Oh no, never mind. We wanted the button on the. We wanted the button below. Okay. Um. Yeah. And then -1. Will that help? Okay. So we do want. Okay, we do want something smaller than 0. Um. What I'll actually do is give it a z-index of 0, but give a z-index of the container itself. Is that going to work? No, that did not work. Hmm. Oh, actually. Oh, never mind. That's very dumb. What am I doing? So the reason why this is not working. So it is working when I'm giving it a z-index of 0, but the cards are also underneath it. Um, and I would have to have a way to select this button. Is there just an easy way to say that? Container direct child. Hey, I think that's gonna work. Direct child everything. Okay, so that's working. Now let's try to z-index of -1. That might still not work. So the hover effects are now broken. Oh, colon, not dot mosaic large. Okay, there you go. So now the card hover effects work. The button hover effects though is broken, which is very likely just because of the negative z index. So we'll try and actually giving it a z index of 0 instead. But now it's displaying above those cards. That is bizarre. And the cards by default. Let's try and give a z index of 1 to the cards. Nope, that's not working either. 100, that's not working either. Okay. Maybe the mosaic large itself doesn't have a large enough z index of 1. There you go. Oh, there you go. We just got it to work. Awesome. So basically, the container that contains the cards didn't have the right z index, so it was displaying below the button anyways. But there you go. Now it's working. We can hover that button as well. Perfect. So I think that's all we want for card hover effects. However, now that I think about it, if we were to click on a post and scroll down all the way to the bottom where we have those related posts, as you can see, they're cut off at the bottom here. And so we'll just have to add some margin for this to be fixed. I will modify the margin I have on Mosaic Large because that's way too much. So let's check the margin on here. Yes, so we will want. So let's actually keep track of this. That's actually what it should be. Okay, let's just copy this padding bottom to Mosaic Small. Mosaic Mini CSS. So we have grid overflow dense. We won't need that anymore. Grid gap. We will want that. Grid template columns, 7M, 1FR. Oh, actually, this isn't even the right file. Never mind. We want mosaic small. There you go. So then again, that padding bottom on the container. Oh, God, mosaic small has to be totally modified. JS. So I think we will commit everything as is, and then we'll modify mosaic small later on, which is the mosaic at the bottom of the post with the related post section. So where is my terminal? All right, so we just want to get status. Okay, we're going to add period, and then okay, and then we're going to commit actually modified card hover styles, and that's a component. There you go. So that is now working perfectly. And then we will actually fix mosaic small. So basically, we have a lot of useless code here because the cards don't have separate orientations anymore. They're always all the exact same orientation. So we can basically get rid of all of this. This can get rid of this. We will just want a React clone element. Actually, delete 7 prop.slice.map. Yes, okay, .map. And then we got clone element. We will delete this. We won't even need this anymore. There you go. And I believe I'm oh yes, of course, I got that curly braces. And then I'll delete this func, this as well. I don't want that semicolon. There you go. So all of this is working. So I go through all the children and I clone them. And so now if I were to click on here, that actually broke. Start is undefined. I have no idea why that's not working. Oh, actually, I don't need the slice anymore. There you go. It's that simple. Hopefully that is. Yep, so we got the Vim bindings, and there you go. Now we got those cards down here. So now the only problem is they're huge. So we'll modify that real quick. And so we'll actually have the same grid template here as well on mosaic small. And when we won't actually have this anymore, and we won't have the smartphone check anymore. So that's all good. And final thing we should have to add, which I don't need, mosaic media. Final thing we should have to add is the padding bottom of this mosaic small. Actually, this should totally belong in here, and then mosaic small with the padding bottom. Grid auto flow dense is not needed either, and there you go. So now we have this hover effect going. To be fair though, what I could try and do, instead of having padding bottom, we could have an overflow visible. Is this working? Let's see, index of 1. This is not working. I'm basically trying to make those posts display above the footer, but I don't know if that's going to work. So for now, we're just going to have a padding bottom. Actually, that belongs here. That padding bottom is kind of big, but yeah, I think that's how we're going to have to do it to be able to see those. And later on, maybe I'll change the hover effect so that it actually goes over that footer here. So I think all those card hover effects are now fixed, so they all work really smoothly. I'm not convinced the style is great, but yeah, that's a very good start. For example, there's like there's a big amount of empty space when there's only one line to the title, but yeah. And actually, since we do have a load more button down here, we don't need that padding here. I'll actually add that padding back where it was before on the container, so that the load more button is up here instead. And so again, we can click on load more. It's going to load more projects, load more again, and there you go. Okay, so let's commit that as well. And I don't want this here. Okay, fixed. Mosaic small with new hover effect. And so that is all now all working. Oh, actually something else I might modify. So if I oh god, there you go. Go on a mobile phone view. Actually, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, so if I were to open up the console here, just have it. I'm just gonna get a little tiny screen here. That's a bit too small though. When I'm on a tiny screen, you can see the get in touch thing here also breaks. So that's also something we'll have to fix. So the card layout, card design, that's done. So let's now do the delimitation in the hero section. Any comments here? All right, that's all good. We have 0 current viewers, which is bad. All right, so we will now do this. So we will fix basically the delimitation up here, which I don't really like. It's not really a fix; it's just personal preference. And so I'll go in Game of Life JS, and I think that's that's literally it. Card, actually background. That should be it. That is not it. Okay. Hmm. So we are able to change the background, but for some reason that's not working. Um, oh, of course. Yeah, so the problem here is we have a different, I believe we have an opacity or something like this on this Game of Life object, and that's why the background is not showing properly, which is going to be fairly easy to fix. Only problem here is we're filling with it with black at the beginning. We'll actually want to fill it with our background color at the beginning, and then we will go to home hero, I believe, CSS. Actually, home hero. Yes, that is it. Opacity. That's what we want. Home header CSS. That might be it actually. Is this the? Oh, we have home hero and home about. That is actually what includes Game of Life. So home hero is what we want to modify. And it is inside of styles.image. Background. Oh, there you go. I think that might be it. There you go. That worked. And so again, now we have a continuous black background for the whole hero section, which I believe looks way better. Let's just refresh a few times just to make sure the Game of Life isn't too annoying. Yes, so it is. It is quite distracting. I should have some text shadow in this text though. I do have text shadow. So I'll just add some more. To chair, and there you go. Now the text is slightly easier to read. So that's all good. The fact that the delimitation is straight in the middle of the text, I don't like though. And so I guess I can probably change some good template columns here. Good template rows. That's not what you want. 1FR auto. Okay, so that's probably gonna be it. So title desk. So 1FR auto 1FR will simply say maybe. So that's the padding that we have on top and on the bottom. I think we'll bring it up a bit. So we'll say 0.75 FR and then 1.25 FR. There you go. So now it's slightly more. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced at all that this is what we should have done, but oh well. Yeah. So I think this does look better. So if we're to refresh with the Game of Life here running, I prefer that look to what it used to look. So I guess that's done. We'll commit that as well. I think we next we'll want to modify the get in touch element that is breaking. The annoying thing is here we do have a get in touch that is aligned right, and so we do want this get in touch here to display this way when we're in mobile view. But this one down here should display like that. And so let's scroll all the way down and try and figure out why this is happening. So we have that get in touch element here. So we could try and fix it, or we could cheat. I don't know what we're going to do yet. So this get in touch element has two elements which are wrapping, obviously. And so let's go to that footer and try to see what we can do about that. So oh my goodness, so we want that's footer contact. There you go, footer contact. Good air contact, you're not helping me. Okay, so that's the only thing that's inside contact. That's not good. What else? So I guess this contact literally just contains elements, and it's that simple. So the problem is probably in get in touch then. So we could again try and fix get in touch, or we could say that anything inside of that contact region is not allowed to wrap. So this is just going to be a quick hack just so that everything squishes instead of wrapping with Flexbox. So let's try that. This didn't work. Oh, actually, we want footer contact direct children everything. Oh my goodness, that's my stream key again. This is so terrible. And there you go. So now this can't wrap anymore, which is again just a quick hack. But I guess yeah. Now when we get to smaller fonts, oh actually the header the footer changes font size automatically, but oh well. And I'll just add a comment here. Prevent get in touch from wrapping. And there you go. So that's now working. So we can get into a mobile view here, and we have all our get in touch elements, and we have the fix it on GitHub link. So there you go. Again, the tags are sorry, the cards hover effect are working, and also I modified the link hover effect. There used to be a sliding line underneath them, but now it changed the style of the link to somewhat resemble what the buttons look like. So if I were to show you a button, here's what a button would look like. And so now the link hover effects are more similar to this. as you can see here. So that all looks good. I think I will also commit those changes. I guess I'm going to say fixed. Um, and what's the last thing we have on our to-do list here? Get in touch with breaking, that's all good. And the text in the about section. I did not expect to write anything here, but hey, what's CSS class? Okay. All right. So when you have this arrow thing, that's a type of CSS selector. And so what I'm saying here is I'm saying footer dot footer dot contact basically means any element that has the class contact inside of the class footer. And then when I put this arrow selector, what it means is I want all of the elements that are direct children of the contact element. And so if I go on my footer JS here, so I have my contact div, which is this whole thing here. But what I'm saying with the selector here is I want all the elements, but only the ones that are direct children. And so this will only select this button and this div, and it won't select this a tag or this text here because they're not direct children of the contact element. They are, well, I guess, children to 2 degrees of the contact element. So it will just leave all those elements alone, and it won't interfere with them. So that's actually why I'm using an arrow here because I have no direct way of getting the class name of this element here because it's in a separate component because React. And so what I'm doing here instead of saying is saying, well, any elements inside of that contact that are direct children of it are not going to wrap. So yeah, hopefully that helps. And then the text in the about section, I'd like to make this slightly, I guess, more personal and less professional. If that makes sense. Uh, oh, and actually, I think we're going to keep this that way. Yeah. So this about section. By the way, I did put a new profile picture here. I don't know if you had seen it before. So yeah. Um, yeah. So I think I'm going to want to modify this text, but I'm not sure what I want to replace it with. And so I can actually have a list instead of a list in Notion. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, I can actually. Oh, there you go. Okay. So, um, so, um, I would like to add some kind of yeah, again, a more personal statement. So maybe I don't actually know if I do want to modify this section. I mean, I guess it does work all right. Um, and in the worst case scenario, if people actually want to know me better, they can message me. I could say something like that I'm a computer science student or something like that, but I think we're going to ignore that for now. So we'll just quickly remove this. I have footer and website. Okay. And so now I guess the only thing that is left to fix is those hover effects on mobile because they're going to be very annoying on a cell phone, I assume. Um, so let's simulate a cell phone here and use my laptop touch screen. Um, so yeah, so you can see here, I can't hover unless I kind of hold, which is very annoying, and I have to kind of hold different places to kind of stop the post from hovering. Um, and I don't know what would be the best way to fix this, honestly. Because again, hovering on a smartphone is really annoying without actually clicking. Um, I think what I could do, as I said at the beginning, is um, I don't click on the card unless I'm already hovering. That could be one way to do it. And so I could check to see if the mouse is inside of the card, and if so, I actually click on the card, which actually I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go in the card code, and it probably has an on-click handler. It doesn't. Wait, that's weird. Um, oh, okay. Oh, that's fun. It's using it's actually not using an on-click handler. It's using a link from Next.js. So that might be really annoying to fix. Okay. So oh, that actually broke. That's still broken. Args console log ASDF. Props on click args. Why is this broken? That's pretty strange. And this arrow here, expected to find a closing bracket. Why is this breaking now? Okay. Let's try and just remove those. Oh, I think I might know. No, that did not fix it. That's not good. So unexpected token expected expected closing bracket. Am I doing anything that's invalid JavaScript here? Oh my god, again, my stream token. I can't. This is so dumb. Um, there you go. So let's see if I get a syntax error. No, I get a reference error, which means this is valid JavaScript. Um, okay. I think I'll try and overwrite it this way, and hopefully that actually works. Again, unexpected token. That's very strange. Am I missing something very obvious here? Oh, I have an extra. There you go. So that did something. It's working. Okay. So I guess now, well, actually, one of the console opened up. Um, and so now when I click on a post, I get an ASDF log here, which means I'm intercepting that click, and I'm logging to the console. And so now what I can do here is change what happens when I actually click on the link. So I want to check to see if the mouse is inside of the card. So um, okay, so we'll want an on mouse enter and on mouse leave event handlers probably. Okay, so we'll want the hover state actually. Element parent node matches :hover. Um, so let's try that. So we'll want a reference, a React reference to this. So we will want, oh crap, we'll want another ref. So constant card ref, actually, we'll call it hover, equals use ref. And so then we will add, oh, actually we already have a ref for that a element. So we'll link ref dot current, and we'll console log that. My goodness, my fingers are frozen. And so again, if we were to click here, we do get the card. Perfect. Now we're going to say .current.matches :hover, and hopefully this Stack Overflow post is valid. So again, click, we get true. And if I were to click using a touch screen, oof, we also get true. Okay, that's a problem. And if I were to switch to a mobile device, I also get true, which means that this is basically not working. Okay, so this is always going to be true then. So I think I'll use some event handlers instead. So we're going to have use effect, and so we're going to have link ref.current.add event listener, mouse enter. Yeah. So we'll just console log something. So again, if I were to, input is not defined, obviously. So we won't want any of those in any of that either. There you go. So again, if we enter, we get an ASDF log, and so we can now know when we're entering and exiting a card. Actually, only entering, so we'll also want for exiting. And so instead of using ASDF, we'll actually have a mouse inside hook. Actually, do we need a use effect hook for this? Yeah, we will need a use effect hook. Oh, sorry, a use state. Use state with false. And we already have a use state. We will need this here. Okay. And so again here, we will want to say mouse inside equals true, and mouse inside equals false. And we probably have a, yeah, we do have a syntax error here. Oh, an error. Okay, there you go. And so now, no, still no counts here. All right. So, cannot read properties of null. That's awesome. Actually, okay. So now we should have a variable representing whether we are inside the card. Although if we were to click on, there we get true here, and then if we were to click using a touch screen, we also get true, and if we were to click here, we get false, which works. Okay. And so again, actually, if I were to have, if I were to just maybe be working on here, and then click using, when I click using my touch screen, somehow it tells me true, whereas when I'm on the phone, it tells me, oh, it told me true again. Actually, let me just, there you go. Now it tells me false. So it is, I think it is actually working. Oh, we're getting an error though, blocked by client, whatever this means. Let's try and refresh. We don't have any more errors. Okay, I will not complain about that. Okay, so now we do have, oh yeah, the cards I think that use effect might be breaking. Yeah, it is breaking our hover effect, but we won't care about that for now. And I guess we won't ever remove the event listeners because it doesn't seem to break. Oh, actually, let's just click again to make sure. There you go, we just get a true and doesn't break, so we don't complain about that. And we will need the mouse inside check here, and we're basically going to say if mouse inside, that did not work. If mouse inside, then we'll want on click. Actually, we'll want a return on click. Okay, so now we should still be able to normally click on those cards. It is broken for now, unfortunately, but actually let's refresh. Again, let's just initiate those. So then if we click here, never mind. Okay, so this is not working. We're getting a page refresh, which is obviously not what we want. Okay, so let's try and only have props on click. Again, let's try and click on here. We're getting a page refresh. That's a problem. Why is this happening? Let's try and click here again. So maybe mouse inside doesn't have the right value, so let's console log. Mouse inside. So again, click on here. Oh, we get false, so this is the problem, clearly. Yeah, when we're clicking on this card here, it thinks the mouse is not inside of the card, which it clearly is. Oh, goodness. Mouse leave. There you go. We actually want to clear the event when the mouse leaves the card. So again, we'll just click here, and now we get a true. There you go. It is working. So we want props2.onClick. However, if we are on a smartphone, we will get redirection. So if I were to click here, as you can see, oh, did I actually get a reload here? Let's try. I'm not getting a reload. It's not working, but I'm not getting a reload. That's strange. And then on a computer, if I were to click here, did I just get a reload? Let's refresh the whole page. Again, let's just click somewhere here, click, and we're not getting a reload. That's good. But again, on a smartphone, it should not change. It should not be doing this here. And we're not reloading, which is not good. Error blocked by client again. Strange. Anyways, let's go back here. Yeah, okay, so this is not working somehow. Just console log mouse inside. So we're getting true. We should not be getting true. Let's say I have my mouse here and then click here. I'm also getting true. Okay. So that's a very big problem. To be fair, though, I just thought of something. So when we're on mobile, and then we click once to show the description, we can't even see the post that's below it, which is not ideal at all. So I think what we might actually want to do is to show the description of the post, to show the description of the tag, when it is near the top of the screen, basically. And then when the next one is near the top of the screen, we'd have to switch to this one. Actually, I don't know. I really don't know. Let me actually try this directly on my smartphone and see if it's really annoying. So, please don't DDoS me, thank you. I'm on the university network right now. Yeah. All right, so What IP hasn't actually changed. All right, there you go. I guess if you want to see the live version of the website, I don't know if anyone is watching here. Oh my goodness, we had 2 viewers for a little while. Anyways, if you are currently watching, you can copy this IP address, take a screenshot or something. Copy this IP address on port 8080, and you'll be able to see the website while I'm working on it. So, yeah. All right. So on my smartphone then, is it really, really weird? I am not convinced still. That actually refreshed the page. And actually, because of the hook here, it actually looks very weird. So let's get rid of this. Okay. Um, and let's set the state to true. All right. Hmm. I guess I don't actually want this. Okay, that's good to know. Um, so on touch start. Okay, so I'll actually use touch start instead. And then I will start. Oops. Oh crap. Um, I'll actually have a use state false. Okay, and so now hopefully. Okay, so it's not working, but it is registering my touch starts and touch ends. Um, Actually, JavaScript. Oh, that's weird. It should actually have touch start when I'm swiping. It should be firing when I'm swiping, but for some reason, it's not working. It's only registering clicks. Um, any comments here? Wait, does the IP address show your public IP? Yes, that was IPADDR. Oh, actually, I don't know if it does. I don't actually know. Yeah, I think you're right. You would have to be on the university network to be able to see this because that's probably my private IP, and I can't give you my public IP because I don't have access to their router, so I wouldn't be able to forward the traffic to my computer. So yeah, I think you're right. Actually, you can't see the live website as of now. Actually, I think touch move might be the that is still not working. Oh, obviously. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. So essentially, it is working. I just want to manually. So touch start is actually working, and I don't actually want an update mouse inside hook, and I don't actually want any of those. I just want to change the hover effect. So when I touch a touch the link, I want to add the class maybe hover, and then I'll do the same thing here. Ooh, actually, let's yank inside and then paste that here. And I'll remove it here instead on touch end. And so then when you're going to be swiping, that should hopefully we're going to see. So then we'll go on the CSS and card hover. We're all going to have to add dot card dot hover. Pop up card hover dot pop up and title. This should work now. And it broke. A is not defined, obviously, because we actually want. Let's go back to the GS. We want the reference, so link ref dot current. And I did not type this properly. Okay. And so now, is this working? Oh, actually it isn't. Oh, that's annoying. Classless add. And so this A actually does have the card prop. This should be working, but for some reason it isn't. Maybe I'm actually getting an error and I can't see it. So let's open up the console here and emulate a smartphone. So again, I'm swiping, but I'm not getting the proper events going here. Well, actually, I haven't checked OBS in a while. Yep, audio's still working, so I haven't run out of battery. Awesome. So for some reason that touch start, those events don't seem to be firing. So I am getting those. So the hover class is getting added to the card. Oh, obviously, I don't want to add the string hover. I want to add styles.hover here as well. There you go. That should do it. So there you go. That's working. And so now when I'm holding a card, I can just scroll like this, and when I happen to have touch on a card, it actually just hovers it. So I can literally, while I'm scrolling, I can just, I guess you can see better with that mouse, I can just scroll, and when I'm holding my touch down, I can see the description, and then when I release it, it just removes it. Oh, actually, this is not working on a laptop. You actually need a touch screen, or a smartphone. So I think that's all working. Let's try on my phone just to make sure it's all good. Yeah, I think it is. Um, okay, I think this is broken actually. Um, so because the essentially when I get a touch start event, I do wanna show the hover state. But if I swipe weirdly, maybe my touch event is going to end up on another card. Um, and so basically the pop-up stays displayed and doesn't just hide itself away, which is a problem. So I guess what I could do is just add the event listener to the document. So yeah, I think that's actually working here. Actually, I don't think it is. That's annoying. Let's try that again. So again, just scrolling here. Okay. That's annoying. Document body, maybe that's gonna help. I have no idea at this point. Oh, actually, this is working. Okay, that just worked. All right. I'm probably getting a bunch of errors though because I'm not cleaning up my events. Oh, and I get console logs. Um, so let's just make sure I don't get some weird errors here. That all looks good. To be fair, I'm not actually using touch events here. There you go. Okay, a bunch of errors. So the reason I'm getting those is because I'm not cleaning up my events afterwards. So I'm gonna have const and then we have touch end event, which is gonna be equal to that. And then at the end, when the component gets unmounted, I'm actually gonna clear those. So link ref dot current dot remove event touch start. Actually, I need to reference to the function. Never mind. So I want to delete that. So I'm gonna have those here instead. I have a touch start handler. Yank inside B. That did not work. Oh my goodness. Paste that. Okay. And then we're gonna want touch start handler. And we're just gonna want to delete all that. Delete that here. And we're gonna want a similar one for touch end. And we're gonna want a touch end handler. And same thing here. We won't want this anymore, this either. And actually, this is going to be document dot body and link ref current dot movement listener touch start handler and document body remove listener touch end handler. This should all work now, and hopefully it's not all going to break. Never mind, it totally just broke. Okay, actually this was just, okay, it should work now. So, there you go, so we do have hover effects, and now if I were to use a smartphone, there you go. Now I can scroll. I believe I can scroll at least. No, I think that broke. Okay. So let's try and scroll. For some reason, they're all shown now. Okay, so that's not working. That's for sure. So that's touch start. That's touch end. Touch start. Touch end. That should be working. I'm getting 16 remove event listeners. Oh, there you go. That's why. Okay, there you go. So now that should be working. So when I'm scrolling, and just scrolling down, it's only showing the description while I'm actually holding, just like that. So yeah, I think that's all working. So now we also got mobile support, which I really needed desperately. Oh, actually that broke. Couldn't remove that listener. That's very annoying. Okay. Um, so the internet is not helping me right now. To be fair, though, I don't think I have to remove the event listener because JavaScript actually does it all for me. Um, I think the browser removes the event automatically once the component gets unrendered. Um, so yeah. But then again, oh, this error blocked by client. That's literally advertisements, which is my ad blocker doing its job. Thank you. So yeah, now again I can scroll, and it shows everything properly, which is what we want. And then if I were to click, I don't get any React errors anymore. Again, it's just blocking YouTube ads. So if I click on a normal post, it's not going to show any errors. Whereas if I click on a post that has a demo video, it's actually gonna block the YouTube ads, which is perfect. All right, and again, scroll restoration is still working. So if I were to click on clean bash prompt, for instance, and then hit back, it's going to restore where I was in the page. I think that's pretty much all the modifications I wanted to do with that page. And again, the footer is still working. It's not broken. Let's actually remove this inspect. Oh, this well, um, smartphone view or something. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's try one last time on my phone to make sure it's all good. And I think if that's all working, we're gonna push to GitHub. Oh, hello. How are you doing? I need to have a way. How do I know when this was posted? I'm sorry, it might have been like 10 minutes ago or something. Um, but yeah, I'm basically modifying my. I don't know if you're listening right now, but I'm basically modifying my website. And so I had a small to-do list that I wanted to do. Um, no, Grammarly, just let me alone, leave me alone. So yeah, I had a small to-do list. I fixed the delimitation in the about section, which is right here. It had a weird line in the middle, so I removed that. Um, card layout and card design. Yeah, so basically I'm having a new pop out style on my cards, so that's what's different here. And then get in touch, which is the thing here, and the footer was actually breaking on a mobile device, so I fixed that as well. So that's basically what we did in this live stream. Um, and so I would like to actually somehow save this stream to YouTube, and I have no idea. Um, I have no idea how if YouTube saves live streams by default. Is less than 12 hours, YouTube can automatically archive it for you. This option applies to all types of live stream. automatically archive it for you onto your channel. The person who owns the channel that had a live video can choose to upload it and have it available or delete it. Oh, there you go. So I can just end the stream, and I shouldn't have any problems with that. How long have I been streaming for? 1 hour 46 minutes. Yeah, that. Oh my goodness, those modifications actually took a while. Most of this was actually getting those cards here to work properly. Um, to be honest, though, I still don't like the weird padding underneath some of those titles. So I'll see what I can do about that. Um, and so, oh, actually, I have to have multiple columns here. So um, that would be an example here. So let's inspect that title. So it is not spanning the whole height. So I think I will actually, I will center this probably with flex 1. I'm gonna push this first though. And then finally, that's going to be actually card module CSS. I'm going to have a title and flex 1. That should be all I need to center those, or not. Card title. Oh, align items center. That should be it. Hopefully. There you go. And so now those titles are centered in the cards, and it doesn't look as weird as it used to. So that's all good. Genuinely, I think that's all I had to. That's all I wanted to do on this on my website for now, at least. So I'm gonna commit this and then push to my actual server, and I think that's gonna be it for the live stream. Um, Alright, so we are now updating the live website, and everything should be working in a few minutes. So, 21 playbacks, I don't even know what that means. Total number of times the video has loaded, including page refreshes and change of camera angle. Number does not increase when a viewer switches to resolution. So there are 21 people that came by, which is pretty awesome. And we are building. That's probably going to take a little while. Sorry, I'm gonna hide my screen because I don't want everyone to see whatever I'm gonna have on here. There you go. All right, we're back up. So, still compiling. The website is officially down, and we are back up. Okay, and so there you go. The website now has the new card hover effects. It doesn't have the weird delimited the weird line up here anymore. And this get in touch element is also fixed down here. If we were to click on a post, scroll all the way down, the related post section also has the working hover effects, which is perfect. Um, I might actually want to have those display by default, but for now it works all right. And I have the footer here, which is also working as usual. So yeah, there you go. I guess thank you to anyone that actually watched whatever this stream was. I might actually upload this stream on a second challenge or something. We're gonna see what I do with it. But yeah, um, I guess most people that actually joins were my friends. So just if you have like questions or anything about what I did today, just text me. So yeah. All right. Well, see all of you. We'll talk later, I guess. Okay.